Now, with recent news of Messi's transfer to Intermiami and him moving to the MLS, I thought it'd be a great idea to rate every MLS team's 2022-23 jersey based on both style and functionality. So let's get right into it. We got this tier list here from S tier all the way to D. And first off, we got Atlanta United. Now, honestly, this is a pretty clean jersey. Atlanta United have always had a pretty good jersey game the last few years. The red and black and gold is very cool and easy on the eye aesthetically, so it's pretty good. I'd say the away jersey is what kind of ruins it though. It's just a pretty odd color to have and doesn't really make too much sense in terms of the style, but I guess it makes sense for functionality, so we're gonna put this in our B tier. Now moving on, we got Austin FC. Now honestly, this is way too basic. The away jersey is somehow better, but it makes no sense in terms of functionality because it looks almost exactly the same as the home jersey. So honestly, this was a pretty bad one, and we're gonna put it in our D tier. Moving on, we got Charlotte FC. The home jersey is a bit basic, but it makes sense given the team logo and the team colors, so it's not too bad. The away jersey is also not bad. It's a pretty cool purple. So honestly, this goes into the B tier. Moving on, we got Chicago Fire. Now, I like the simplicity of the home kit, not gonna lie, but the away kit is just absolutely awful. So this goes straight into our C tier. I don't know what they were thinking with those patches, those designs. This is not it. So C tier. Moving on, we got FC Cincinnati. I really like the home kit. It has a contrasting blue color from the sleeves to the main torso. But what I really like is the sort of dark smoke coming across the chest. I think that's a pretty cool and unique touch, and it contrasts the blue of the kit very well. The away kit is also pretty unique. It's an orange, which is one you don't really see that much. So honestly, this is a pretty good jersey. B tier. Moving on, we got Colorado Rapids. Now, the home kit is not too bad, but the away kit just cannot save it. It's just a very awful and makes this easily fall into the C tier. Moving on, we got Columbus Crew. Pretty decent home kit. Although they're basic, I think they're alright in terms of the design, but it's not too much to write home about, but also not too much to bash about it. So honestly, this is a decent C tier. Now moving on, we got D.C United. Now this is a team that I really like the logo. I think they got a pretty cool logo, and I felt like they could have done more with that logo. So both jerseys, home and away, are pretty plain. Just minor designs on them in the away kit, minor sprinkles here and there, and I really think it doesn't really do it that much favor. So D.C United goes in our D tier. Moving on, we got FC Dallas. Now, the home kit is okay, but I think the real cool piece here is the away kit. I really like the fireball silhouettes. I think that's a much more unique type of design, and it represents, the team or the place the team is at. Dallas, Texas. It's always hot in there. So it's definitely a very unique touch, and that puts it in our B tier. Next, we got Houston Dynamo. Now, pretty decent, even though the design is very minimal. I think it works well for both colors, so we're going to put this in our C tier. Sporting Kansas. Now, I'm going to say I'm a pretty big fan of the colors of this team. I don't know why. It's just very aesthetically pleasing, and I think they did an absolutely amazing job of implementing the team colors and logo into their home kit and away kit. It's very simple design, just a stripe on the home kit and plain for the other one, but I think it makes a lot of sense for the team colors, and it's not doing too much, but as well it shows a little bit of creativity. So this one is honestly going to be in our B tier. Now, LA Galaxy, probably the most iconic team on the list so far. The home kit is iconic and classic, so it's a really solid one you can't really go wrong with. But I think the main problem here is that goddamn away kit. That away kit is absolutely awful to look at. I don't know what the inspiration behind it was, but it just looks pretty bad and pretty random. So honestly, it falls into our C tier. Moving on to another LA team, we got LAFC. Very clean jerseys. They've been had clean jerseys for the past few years. Um, Pretty unique colors, pretty unique touch. They got the black and gold, so you can't really go wrong with that. The design on the away kit is also very unique. I like the color and the smoky design it's got all over it. So this is a very cool one and makes it into our A tier. Now moving on to the team most people have probably been waiting for. We got Intermiami. Now yes, this is what Messi's going to be rocking when he's on the field this season. But honestly, it's not a bad kit at all. It's a unique pink, which we haven't seen so far. And honestly, it represents the club logo, so it makes sense that it features on the kits as well. Both home and away do feature pink. The main one is just basic pink, and the other one's got a black with a sprinkle of pink around it. So although it's pretty basic, it's a decent one, aesthetically pleasing, but apart from that, there's not much going on for it, so it just makes it into our A tier, not quite S tier. Now moving on, we got Minnesota United. Now, although it's very simplistic, I think it's still very nice to look at. Now the away kit is what's really special, with a dash of pink, light blue, and white in there. So I think it's pretty cool. But I think what makes the jersey get to the next level though is their sponsor. I don't know why, but that circle in the middle just makes it so aesthetically pleasing to look at. So overall, this is a B tier. So moving on to Montreal. Now they actually didn't release their home kit up until like a few days ago. So honestly, I don't know why it took them that long, but hey man, it looks pretty decent, not gonna lie. Solid jersey, pretty cool royal blue color. The away kit is also very decent. It's a gray, so it contrasts the home kit. So honestly, they did their thing here. We're gonna put this in our A tier as well. Now moving on, we got Nashville. Pretty clean colors, honestly. Not much to complain about apart from it being just plain and basic. But it's a very solid color for both home and away kit. Simple, I like it. So this is gonna go easily into our B tier. Now, New England Revolution. The home kit, it's alright. The away kit, oh my god, it's just absolutely hard to look at, honestly. I don't know what that is. So this goes in our D tier quickly. And we got New York City FC. Now, this is a pretty decent royal blue, but the away kit, I have no idea what they're going with this. Trying too hard to be Manchester City, bruh. This ain't it. Pretty bad season as well. So honestly, it just sums up the D tier they're gonna fall into. Now moving on, we got New York Red Bulls. Now this is usually another classic team with classic jerseys, but I don't know what they were thinking this year. The home kit looks absolutely awful. The away kit looks like it should have been the home kit. So I'm not really sure what they were going for this. Should have stuck more with the red and white. So honestly, this falls unfortunately in the C tier, just like LA Galaxy. Moving on, we got Orlando. Orlando City. Now they got a pretty unique purple color, but I think they really failed to execute here this year. The home kit is decent. Not too much surprises there, but the away kit, I'm not sure what that is, honestly. Would have been a decent idea, but it just failed to execute properly. It just looks pretty awkward and weird and not too much different from the home kit, honestly. So we're going to put this in our D tier. Moving on, we got Philadelphia Union. Now this is a pretty decent one, I'm not going to lie. I rate them for actually trying to put different designs, something more unique from what we've seen so far. But the home kit is not that cool. The away kit is what saves it. I like the logo on the side, the snake logo, and the really cool designs all over it. So it's a pretty decent one that saves it. So this goes in our C tier. I'm moving on. We got Portland Timbers. Now I think these are pretty decent jerseys. It's not easy to pull off a green jersey, so I really commend them for doing it right. And the away kit is also very unique, very cool. A color we haven't seen so far, and a design we also haven't seen so far. So Adidas did their thing on this one. We're going to put this in our A tier. Moving on, we've got Real Salt Lake City. Now, honestly, the home kit is pretty cool. I like the design. It's kind of wavy, kind of matches the aesthetic of the team. But the away kit is pretty basic, not too much different so it's a decent C tier, honestly. Moving on, we've got San Jose. More of the same, just basic home and away kit. Not too much designs on them. Plain, simple colors, which I do commend, but it's also not too much stylistically. It's not really demanding that much. So we're going to put this in our C tier. Moving on, we got Seattle Sounders. Now, Seattle, pretty good team usually, but I don't know what they were thinking this year with the jerseys. I'm not really a big fan of the home kit, and the away kit is just absolutely awful. I don't think there's anyone who would say that's a good-looking kit. It's just too much going on in there. I rate the, something unique for a design, but it just did not execute properly. So this goes in our D tier. Moving on, we got St. Louis. Now, pretty decent jerseys. I like the home kit because it has a cool design with a half and half. But the away kit is pretty basic as well, so this goes in our C tier. Now on to Toronto FC. Now, this could have been a good kit, but with the way the season's been going so far, it's a pretty depressing kit to look at. The away kit is even more depressing. I think they should have stuck more with the red, bit of black, but the gray was not the way to go, and it just looks a lot depressing and summarizes the season every Toronto fan is having right now. So honestly, this goes in our C tier. Now, last but not least, we've got Vancouver Whitecaps. Now, this is probably the best jersey, and it's kind of ironic that we saved it for last, but hey, man. Probably the best jersey on the list. Very unique and cool designs. Even though it's very simplistic and minimalistic, I think the designs are coming off very clean on the jerseys. I really like the colors for both home and away. Really cool. It represents the team logos, so it's done excellently well. I think they contrast well. And honestly, this is going to be the first one in our S tier. Now, that's going to be all for the video. These are pretty good jerseys, but maybe if Adidas wasn't in control of every single one, maybe we'd see a bit more diversity or, unique designs. But overall, shout out to everybody for watching. Let me know what you think down below. You can drop your own ratings or let me know if you agree or disagree. Like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you soon.